Hi, welcome to the breath section of the RE method. I'm going to start with the elephant in the room, the question I get all the time when somebody finds out that I teach breathwork. Why? Why do I need to learn how to breathe? It's kind of comical, right? I mean, I do it all day, every day, so why is it something I need to micromanage when I have a million other things that I have to do throughout the day? I don't need to add another thing to my list. Well, I will tell you why. It is the most important thing you will ever do. We breathe approximately 22,000 times a day. And yes, it is automated to a point, and I'll explain that now in a second. But it's also the first thing we do, and it is the last thing you will ever do. Breath is the key to all healing, emotional, spiritual, physical. It is free, it is readily accessible all the time, no equipment needed, and it's something that you can do for yourself on your own journey. So, going back to, isn't it something I just do without thinking? Let's picture it this way. When you take in air, that is automated. You do not need to think about it. So you're taking in oxygen, you're taking in nutrients, etc. However, when your body takes in air, the body does a process where it expands to take in that air. That process is called breathing, and that we can control, and we should micromanage to an extent of making sure we are doing it in the most effective and efficient way for our core and pelvic floor health, because they will have knock-on effects to all of the other areas of our life and our health. So, like I said, the body expands to take in breath. So, when you're taking in that air, I want you to think of your body as a canister. From your nose all the way down to your exit or entrance, whichever you want to call it. That canister creates a pressure environment. That's how we are able to stand up as humans, right? It gives us spinal stability from that core pressure, otherwise we'd just be jellyfish. However, pressure is not a bad thing, but we do need to learn to mitigate it in a way that works with us and not against us. So, like I said, we take in the air. It comes down into that core canister. So, I want you to imagine that this ball is a tube of toothpaste. If you were to squeeze only the top of the toothpaste up here, what would happen to the bottom of the toothpaste? It would all squish out the bottom here. Eventually, that toothpaste is going to squirt and break free from the bottom of the toothpaste because pressure is very strong. It will find the weak point and it will keep pushing and pushing and pushing until it breaks through. And for us as humans, our weak points will be our linea alba, so diastasis, coming out through here. You do not need to have had a baby to have diastasis. I've worked with plenty of men who have a significant gap here from pressure constantly pushing apart this small fascia called the linea alba that goes between your six-pack muscles. The other areas are out through your back, so vertebrae, bulging discs, back pain, and then of course the more common or well-known causes or issues would be your pelvic floor issues, incontinence, prolapse, hypertonic pelvic floor issues, pelvic girdle pain, etc. So we want to learn how to mitigate that pressure when it comes into our body in the most efficient and effective way so it works for us and, like I said, not against us. And the way to do that is through breathing in the most effective and efficient way. And I'm going to tell you what that is now. It is 3-dimensional or 360 breathing. After all, we are fully three-dimensional beings, right? So we should not be breathing only in one of our dimensions. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk you through an assessment of what kind of breather are you. Once we get that down, we kind of start picking some puzzle pieces together and finding out what we are. I'm then going to bring you through some tools that we can work on together to help you learn how to go more into that three-dimensional breath. However, I want you to remember that every day that you practice this, you are teaching your brain a new pattern, and your brain is reprogramming it to then become automated. So 5 minutes 2 times a day is all that you need. Our brain loves to learn slowly, and it loves not knowing things. It loves learning new things. Your ego does not. And your ego of, okay, now I know what's wrong, I want it to be fixed immediately, is going to cause stress, and that stress is then going to change your breathing pattern, and it'll never change. So I want you to remember that this is a journey to practice. It is brain food, and every breath is an opportunity to decrease pressure within that pelvic floor and core. So just hold that in your thoughts. This is a journey. It's going to take some time for your body to learn a new pattern, a new language, and that's okay.